Hey everyone, welcome back to Mithun Diaries. Have you ever wondered why Karnataka is known as the silk state of India, or why Mysore silk sarees are among the most luxurious and prestigious silk products in the world? Many people believe that this story begins with the British East India Company. But here is something fascinating. The East India Company certainly influenced India's textile industry, but Karnataka's silk revolution actually began even before the British took control, thanks to the vision of Tipu Sultan. However, during British rule, Karnataka's silk industry went through massive ups and downs that ultimately shaped the modern textile industry we see today. So, did the East India Company help Karnataka, or did it almost destroy its silk industry? Let's travel back more than 250 years to uncover this incredible story. Let's start off with Karnataka before the British rule. Long before the arrival of British rule, Karnataka had already developed a strong reputation for weaving. The kingdoms of Vysalas, Vijayanagara Empire, and later the Kingdom of Mysore actively supported skilled artisans and textile craftsmen. Cotton weaving flourished, and looms produced exquisite fabrics. Traditional weaving techniques were passed from generation to generation. But silk production was still relatively limited compared to what Karnataka would later become. Everything changed under one visionary ruler, Tipu Sultan. Around 1785, Tipu Sultan introduced organized sericulture in the Mysore kingdom by establishing silk farming in Channapatna. He encouraged mulberry cultivation. He also imported superior silkworm varieties and invested in improving silk production with the goal of making Mysore a world class silk producer. This laid the foundation for Karnataka's future dominance in silk. Then arrives the East India Company. The East India Company had one primary objective: trade. Along with trade, they also had textiles in their mind, which were among its most profitable businesses of that time. The British had already established large silk operations in Bengal. They introduced improved silk reeling methods there. They also imported better silkworm breeds and built machinized villages to boost exports to Europe. After defeating Tipu Sultan in 1799, the British gained control over the Kingdom of Mysore. Now Karnataka's silk industry became part of a much larger colonial trade network. Initially, this created opportunities. Silk reached international markets, demand increased, new production methods slowly appeared, but there was a hidden cost. The British economy depended on protecting British industries first. Indian producers increasingly faced competition from imported manufactured goods, changing market dynamics under colonial rule. Let's understand the dark side of colonial trade. Although the British promoted trade, they also flooded Indian markets with cheaper manufactured textiles. Local weavers struggled, traditional craftsmen lost income, many handloom industries across India suffered, even Karnataka's silk sector faced enormous challenges. There was global depression, competition from imported silk and rayon. There were also disease affecting silkworms, all created severe setbacks. For several decades, Karnataka's silk industry fought simply to survive. Yet something remarkable happened. Unlike several other silk producing regions, Mysore's silk tradition never completely disappeared. In the late 1800s, leaders in the Mysore kingdom realized they need modernization. Experts from Italy and Japan were invited. New silk reeling technologies arrived. Scientific breeding programs improved silkworm quality. Cross breeding experiments produced stronger and more productive silk varieties. The Tata Silk Farm, established in Bengaluru, also contributed to scientific sericulture and training. Then came one of the biggest milestones. Let's move on to the birth of Mysore Silk Factory. In 1912, Maharaja Nalvadi Krishnaraja Vadayar IV established the famous Mysore Silk Weaving Factory. This wasn't an ordinary factory, it featured advanced weaving machinery imported from Switzerland. Initially, the factory produced silk exclusively for the royal family and ceremonial purposes. Over time, production expanded, quality improved, and the name Mysore Silk became synonymous with luxury. Let's move on to the one famous man of that era, Sir M. Vishveshwaraya. Another legendary figure transformed Karnataka's silk industry, Sir Mokshagundam Vishveshwaraya. He was a visionary and believed industrialization would strengthen Karnataka's economy. Under his guidance, scientific sericulture expanded, research improved, training programs grew, silk farming became more organized. The Department of Sericulture, established during the British period, later became one of India's oldest dedicated sericulture departments. Now let's move on to the independence and KSIC. After India became independent, the silk factory came under the Mysore State Sericulture Department. Then, in 1980, it was transferred to the Karnataka Silk Industries Corporation or KSIC. Today, KSIC manages the complete silk production chain, from cocoon processing to weaving, helping preserve the authenticity of Mysore silk. Modern technology was added, quality standards were improved, counterfeit protection such as holograms and unique identification features were introduced. Mysore silk also received geographical identification or GI protection, ensuring only authentic products from the approved source can use the name. Let's move on to the silk in Karnataka today. Today, Karnataka remains India's leading producer of mulberry silk. The state contributes a major share of the country's mulberry silk production and is home to renowned weaving traditions such as Mysore silk, Ilkal saris, Udupi cotton, and Karnataka Kasuti. Districts like Ramnagara, Mysuru, Channapatna, Bengaluru rural play vital roles in the silk economy. Thousands of farmers cultivate mulberry, millions of silkworm cocoons are traded, traditional artisans continue weaving some of India's finest silk fabrics. The industry now combines centuries-old craftsmanship with modern textile technology. So, did the East India Company revolutionize Karnataka's silk industry? The answer is partly. The foundations of Karnataka's silk story were laid by Tipu Sultan. The British period introduced global trade connections and administrative changes, but also brought intense competition and hardships. The real transformation into the modern silk industry happened through the combined efforts of the Mysore rulers, scientists, engineers like Sir M. Vishveshwaraya and later KSIC. Today, every genuine Mysore silk saree carries the legacy of more than 2 centuries of innovation, resilience, and craftsmanship. And that is why Karnataka proudly continues to be known as the Silk State of India. If you enjoyed learning this fascinating chapter of Karnataka's history, please give this video a like, subscribe to Mithun Diaries for more incredible stories about Karnataka, Indian history, travel, technology, and hidden facts. And let me know in the comment section, have you ever visited a silk weaving factory or owned an authentic Mysore silk saree? Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.